Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela, and we're with the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela with the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals. And our podcast is powered by Jim Paquette at Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Yes, and we are so excited about today's episode. We have with us today Alexis Waple from Allen Edwin Homes. Thank you so much for coming today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You know, new construction is something that a lot of people are very interested in. You know, in some cases it's aspirational, but people don't realize that it can be as affordable as it is in some cases. And it's something that you guys are doing a ton of here in Livingston County.
Yes, we have a great new development that actually just came into our Howell area off of PV Road, our Tamarack place. We're going to have over 100 lots over there. We're starting with our first 36 lots. And that pricing is going to start around the low 400s, but Marion Township has those low taxes, so we're really excited about those. They're great home sites, lots of mature trees, private lots. That's going to be exciting.
And that's a great location because you're just minutes from downtown there.
Minutes from downtown, that's for sure. We've got another development over in Fowlerville. That's our Silver Springs community, and we're already on to our phase 2 over there. That pricing's like low 300s into a brand new home. And that's what happens a lot of times is people don't think they can afford new construction. And a lot of times we do have good incentives in place, or they think they have to wait, a year to build something, when actually we have a lot of homes that are not even on market on Zillow or Realtor.com that we're always building. And it's not as far of a reach as they may think it may be.
Right, because, a lot of people with new construction, they have absolutely no idea where to start, and they think just that's too complicated or that's not for me, right?
Yep.
But you guys really do a great job. We've had a lot of clients build homes through you, and they've just had such a wonderful experience.
Yes, we do make it more affordable. We accept any and all loan types, as well as somebody can build a house with as little as $5,000 down through the entire process. We don't do construction loans. There's no big draws, things like that. On our spec homes, our inventory homes that are quick occupancy, the builder actually pays the transfer tax,
That's a big deal because we've seen enough other new construction where they don't.
It is. We don't have any utility caps where they're not paying to get connected to utilities. So we get really creative. Even with our homes that are move-in ready, the builder gives a 2% seller concession, and we have lenders that match it. We work with any and all lenders, but with our preferred lenders, we can give a total of 4% in seller's concessions. So I've been able to see home buyers go from, a pre-approval of $300,000 to $350,000 because we're able to buy their rate down at a fixed rate into the low 5s. So it's huge because they can actually get into a new construction home for less than what they would be paying in a monthly payment in the used market.
Absolutely, wow. Especially with how competitive things are, in a lot of cases. There's been bidding wars and people are just frustrated. And how fantastic would it be to just go and pick out where you want your house and pick out some of those, the flooring, the counter, the color,
Yes. And that is such a cool experience. So we actually have a 4,500 square foot design studio in Grand Rapids where they'd work with a design consultant who's not paid on commission. So she's going to thoroughly just go through with what we have to offer, fully simulated kitchens, fully simulated baths, and they have full-size samples of everything that they can take with them through the showroom. It's so cool. It's such a cool experience. Our buyers are really happy.
Right. So, there's so many builders out there, and we could have some people that have never heard of your builder before. So can you tell me a little bit about Allen Edwin?
Yes, I'd love to. So Allen Edwin, we've been building since 1994. This is our 31st year building, so we've been around a long time. We are actually one of the only builders to grow from that 2008 to 2012 period when a lot of builders went out. We actually went and bought a lot of land, and we were able to use that land at lower price points and build new construction. We're in over 150 communities throughout the state of Michigan, and then we're actually in northern Indiana, and we just tapped into the Toledo market, so northern Ohio now as well. All of our buyers get a 3-month survey. So after they close, they ask, how is construction? How's the quality? How's your sales process, your closing process? All those different processes. Over 90% of our homeowners recommend Allen Edwin as a home builder, which is huge because it does rank us in the top 3% nationally, and we are a private builder. We're not publicly traded. So that is very cool, especially when, somebody's shopping builders and they want to be comfortable that they're working with a very well-known, reputable builder. The other thing people really love about, Allen Edwin is our warranties that we give on the home. So we do a 1-year warranty that covers everything, and then a 10-year structural warranty. That 10-year structural warranty is actually transferable. So if they're only planning on being in the home for 5 years, they've got 5 years to transfer to the new buyer. So it's very admirable to, when shopping in a used market.
Oh, yeah. No. And, one of the things I really like about your company is the communication. So we've dealt with other builders, and there's a ton of great builders. But what I love is that Friday email that goes out to us as the agent and to the clients as well, to tell them where they're at in the process. Because there's so often when someone's building a house sometimes that they'll call up and they're like, I have no idea. I haven't talked to anyone. I don't know when these things are happening. And that's not an issue with you guys.
No, that is something that our clients rave about, is the communication. They get scheduled site visits with the project manager. They get weekly updates every Friday, so they know where their house is. It's their biggest investment. We want them to be part of it and make them feel like they get to watch their home come to life. It's a very exciting process. So that is very cool.
Yeah, no, our clients have been, and it's so exciting to see them excited, right? Because as it gets closer and closer, and they get to see this and they get to see that, is just really that's what is exciting as a realtor.
It is very exciting. The other thing that we're very well known for, unlike a lot of other builders, is we build our home 30 to 40% more energy efficient than Michigan code. So thinking about heating and cooling costs, with our homes, they're going to be a fraction of what they would pay for utility bills in a used home. And that's based on the insulation that we use, the windows that we use, all that good stuff. It's actually third-party tested by Energy, a ResNet certification score that comes out and does a test, a blower door test through our homes. So that gives people, you have to think about the total cost of home ownership. It's not just a mortgage. They've got all these bills that come with it. And new construction is the best for not having repair and replacement costs. So thinking about keeping the total cash flow lower every month.
Yeah, because you're right. When you take that into account, someone buying a used house, maybe the roof is okay, but maybe in the next 5 years that needs to get replaced. Well, with new construction, you've got way more time than that.
Yes, it's brand new roof, certainteed, dimensional shingle. We use a lot of name brand products in our homes, Moen faucets, fixtures, Dreamweaver carpet, Mohawk flooring. There's a lot of big name brand that we use. It's actually a 96 plus energy efficiency carrier furnace and a 13-seat air conditioning unit. And then we use quick return power vent lock and bar water tank heater. So big name brands that everybody knows, loves, and trusts.
Right. And that's one of those great things about your design center, is being able to go out and look at all those things and make decisions. Just as a buyer, don't lose your mind because it can ratchet up, have a budget going into it, kind of think about, but it's great to have.
Customize it for your needs, though.
Yes.
I love that.
Yep. And you guys also finish basements quite often in these houses, which is wonderful.
Yes. So when picking out a lot, we have over 40 different floor plans that our clients can choose from. So we've got small ranches to medium-sized ranches, a lot of 2-story, 1.5 floor plans. We've got a floor plan that fits everyone's needs. So being able to pick that, and then we're a semi-custom builder. So there's different structural options that they can do through us. Some spaces offer a bedroom or an office, or it could be a vaulted ceiling and not vaulted ceiling. There's a lot of different things like half bath versus full bath that they're able to choose from. And then being able to really personalize, select the home, finish the basement, do, as little or as many customizations as they want inside the home. And then we've got our other product where we are actually building spec homes. So we always have homes available. The builder includes the quartz countertops, subway backsplash. Most all of those homes come fully loaded with all appliances, washer, dryer.
Oh, see, that's huge.
Yes.
Because not all builders do that at all.
Towel bars, shower rods, gutters, downspouts, garage door openers. They're going to come turnkey, especially for those first-time home buyers with, little cash flow. They've got enough for their down payment, but they don't want to have to come in and, put all the appliances in. That's big ticketed items.
It is. It is. And those are those costs that add up to somebody where they were walking in through the front door and they thought they were at one price, and now that they're at another level, and that's just not the case with you guys.
Correct. So that's also, why sometimes people rule out new construction just thinking there's so many more added prices. Sometimes, not all builders include the lot price in their base price where we do that. And then there's sometimes lot premiums. But on our spec homes, like our move-in ready homes, the price you see is the price you get.
Right. And that's nice for people out there. A spec home is they're building it basically to the base specifications so that it's ready to go. So when you're going in to talk to them, they may have a house that's going to be ready in 30 days or 60 or 15, or it's sitting there ready already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got homes. We're always building about 100 homes through, that are scheduled to be complete from now all the way till the beginning of next year. So even those renters that are like, well, my lease is up in December, but I don't know what's going to be on the market in December. We've got homes that are scheduled to be complete in December so they can secure something now so they know their next move when their lease is up.
Right.
They know it's going to be a brand new home. So that has been, very beneficial for a lot of buyers as well.
Right. And a lot of young people aren't necessarily as handy. So that's the beauty of new construction, is that everything's already done.
100% more time to spend with their family, cook in their brand new kitchen, on their quartz countertops, not have to worry about the maintenance of items.
Yes, home maintenance.
Yes.
Home ownership, especially for first-time home buyers.
Yep.
Yes.
And so one of the questions that I was going to ask is, most of your houses in subdivisions with HOAs then?
Not all of them. It depends. So some neighborhoods or subdivisions that we have do not have HOAs. The one in Fowlerville does have an HOA. It's going to be $55 a quarter. Mostly, people think HOA and they think, oh my gosh, all these rules and all these things. And it's really because the roads are private and you're paying into a plowing service that's going to take care of those, plow the snow in the winter and take care of like street lighting, sidewalks, things like that. Now in Howell, it's going to be a little bit higher at $375 a quarter. It's covering about the same things. It's just the price point in Fowlerville is going to be lower than the price point in Howell. And that's, it really cost us the same to build a house anywhere. It's what we paid for the land, development cost, all that good stuff.
Right.
That makes sense. But realistically, those prices are still very reasonable, particularly compared to other existing homes, HOAs.
Yes. Now, we also have a condo complex over on Dorchester, right off M59 next to the Kroger. Those are going to be true condos, one of the only freestanding condos.
Wow.
Those are really cool. They're 3 beds, 3 full baths, and those are going to have a higher HOA, but it's because their grass is being cut, their actual driveway is being plowed, their weeds are being fertilized, all that good stuff.
Right.
Right. Subject to change.
Yes,
Because,
yes.
Our episodes do tend to have longer shelf life. So if someone is listening to this ages beyond, then, definitely check.
Yes, pricing is always, never up to me.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But, I love that you guys have those true condos as well. We see so many people that they just want to downsize. They don't want to take care of their yard anymore. And they're looking at these condos, and sometimes they're going into them and they're so outdated that you're walking into a house that you're like, well, I'm going to have to dump $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 to get it to where I want to go.
And that's the reality of the market today. You see something in the used market and you've got to add to that most likely, especially if you're, up against other offers. Got to take things like that into consideration. That's why a lot of our homes that are move-in ready with that incentive, they end up way lower price point monthly payment wise than something else.
Right, exactly. And speaking of monthly payment, I wanted to take a moment just to pause and to give a word out to our sponsor. We have a great sponsor that would be wonderful to reach out to, since you guys take so many loans, to just connect with, to be able to talk about the different options for purchasing a new build. Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. Now let's dive back into the stories of the incredible entrepreneurs we are featuring today. You guys do so many great things. If someone is saying, hey, I want to think about new construction, I have no idea how this process works. What does the typical process look like for someone that is getting into buying a brand new home?
Yeah, that's a great question. So really, by reaching out to myself or Angela or you, Don, they're able to get connected with myself. We'd meet at a model home and really go over with what they're looking to spend, what they're comfortable with monthly payment wise, and then also what's important to them in the home. And then it helps me narrow down a floor plan, area that they want to be in. And we kind of go from there and explore different floor plans. And then I'm able to go through, all of what we include, what the building process looks like. We're very process oriented, which is a great thing because we do build so many homes. We build about 1,000 homes a year in all of our developments. So we go through, what the process looks like, tour the model home. I'm able to point out, show the good quality that we're building, and then break it down to, if they want to move forward, what that process looks like. Starts with the earnest money deposit and then a signed purchase agreement, and we get the ball rolling. It's not only, like I mentioned, we've got two different products where we've got our homes that are already in production and are scheduled to be complete, and there are no changes to those homes. And then we've also have where you pick out your lot, your features, your finishes in the showroom. So two processes are a little bit different, but you always know where you're at in the process. And I stay connected with all my home buyers through start to finish and continue to reach out after. So you meet a lot of different people throughout the process, but they always know, I'm here and I'm reaching out to make sure everything's going smoothly for them.
Right.
That makes sense. Now, for those wanting to start from scratch and to build it all to their own liking, how long of a time frame does that take?
It's usually about 10 months that we're looking at. So for completion.
Right.
So
and that's if you want to customize everything. But if you have a little bit of leeway on that, then at least it doesn't have to take as long.
Yes. And, sometimes buyers are really reluctant, thinking about that 10-month timeline until they're exhausted looking at what's out there and realizing, they might as well just stay put for a second and build so they don't have to move again so fast.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like for some of our clients, sometimes people go to an apartment or sometimes we just sell their house before.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting. Some people just love the idea of no one else having ever lived in their house.
100%.
And those are the people that are like, no, this is what I'm going to do. I want to do it this way. And, they love being able to see the project through from start to finish. You have those pictures of your house without drywall up.
Yep. You put a little scrapbook together that sits on your coffee table. People come over and flip through that book, and it's an exciting time.
Right.
When we were young and first-time home buyers, we did end up doing new construction, but that company is obviously no longer in business. And boy, in retrospect, I sure wish that there was a company like yours that could still have that experience, but know that it's a much more quality build.
Yeah.
And the wild part is some of those lesser built homes are some of those on the off market that people are still spending a lot of money on.
They are. And again, that just goes back to thinking, sometimes people think that new construction's out of reach or they don't know about it. Sometimes it's intimidating, or, builders get bad reputations and realtors think they're cut out of the equation. And that's just not the fact with us. Like, we're very realtor friendly. We want to work with realtors. We want to be able to get in front of their client and just show what we have to offer and see if we're going to be a solution for their clients.
Right. And you guys do a very quality build. I love that you have the different levels where, there's the ones that's the 2x4 construction, you have the 2x6 construction. And one of the things that I like with new build is that walkthrough you get just beforehand, and you're able to go through and you're putting the little blue tape up of like, fix this, take care of this. And then, you come back through a year after you're in the home and you're taking care of the nail pops, and it's a white glove service.
I love the way that you phrase that, white glove service. I love that. So it's part of our process prior to, closing on the home. They'll walk through with the project manager. We're putting thousands of pieces and parts together. I'm sure you'll find a paint blemish, and we'll address all of those items prior to closing. And then our standard process is hearing from our warranty team within a week. We'll actually meet at the home at 2 months because none of you've been able to utilize the home. If you notice anything at that point, we'll take care of that. And it's Michigan. We're going to sit through all 4 seasons. So like you said, Don, with the nail pops, we'll take care of those items at that 11-month mark. Of course, we're always reachable within those periods, but that is just our standard process of what we'll always do.
And I love that. I love that you guys are just so service oriented, not just during the process, but even afterward.
Yes, I actually live in an Allen Edwin home myself. So I've, been at the company for over 4 years, and I see the day-to-day process, and that's where I chose to invest my money as well, in an Allen Edwin home.
All right. So, and for your trades, are your trades subcontracted, or do they work with you, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we have a very extensive trade partner relationship. So where they're all contractors, subcontractors, but we promise them 3 homes a day. So, a lot of times I get the question like, how do you guys do it? How are you more affordable? And that's through our sustainable advantage. So we promise our trades 3 homes a day. That means they get to start and finish 3 homes every single day. So there's no seasonality with our trades. A lot of other builders hire in the springtime. Come Christmas, everyone's laid off. With our trades, we keep them employed all year round. But with that also comes more efficiency and more effective with the way that they're building. So like I like to explain it, you buy an IKEA dresser the first time you put it together, it takes you a little bit. You never done it. Second time, third time, fourth time, you're a pro at what you're building. So it works the same way with our trades. After, they are familiar with our process and our products, they're very good at what they do. And we also, keeping that we build those 40 floor plans, we have a lot less waste as well. So where other builders are putting a lot more into the dumpsters, we only have 1 dumpster per 3 houses. A lot of builders have 3 dumpsters per 1 house. So that's a lot of waste.
Yeah. To be more efficient.
Yes.
Especially in building a more efficient house.
Yes, exactly. So we're able to pass those savings on to the home buyer.
That is really good. And, we have a couple in process with you right now. So one of the things that I thought was great about your company is we just had a client that did a radon test on the home, right? And if the radon test had been high, you guys were paying to put the system in. So it's, again, that quality control and that safety oriented that, our client felt like, Allen Edwin was looking out for them.
Yes, of course. Yep. We'll never turn down, if somebody wants a private inspection, radon test, no problem. All of our homes are inspected throughout the entire duration of construction. So the municipality comes out and we have to get the green sticker for us to continue to move forward. So we have nothing to hide. We're very welcoming to walking through the home when it's at bones, being able to take a look at the quality. I get a lot of those dads out there looking out for their first time home buyer baby, and they want to, come in and inspect the home themselves. Well, no problem. Bring it on. There's nothing, I welcome it. Everyone feels more comfortable that way.
That's fantastic. And then this new development, that's a big deal because there's going to be a ton of homes there then, right?
Yes. This new development, we're really excited about it. We're just actually putting in roads now, and that's going to be the Tamarack Place. That I think is going to be a hit. So Marion Township, the oversized home sites, a lot of green space, those pricing starting around, the low 400s, and then they can get real custom. We've build our Integrity, Elements, and Traditions collection within that development. So
that's at PV and what was that, Norton or Mason there?
Mason, yep.
Okay. So you guys are right on that curve where the old golf range was then?
Yeah, so actually our old development, Marion Oaks,
Okay.
we're right next door. So there's a few used homes in between Marion Oaks. That was a really big development for us.
Yes.
Where we actually had a model home over there. And then now we've got the Tamarack place coming. So we've been in progress a couple years working on this project.
Are you going to have models over there as well then?
So we're not going to have actually like a furnished model because we have one in Silver Springs, which is in Fowlerville, about 10 minutes away. But there's always, floor plans to walk through during the duration of the builds.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things that great is actually having floor plans to walk through, so it's not conceptual. Because we've had clients that go through and they go through one, they think they love that, and then they go over here, but no, I love this more. And it's a fun process for them to be able to have that hands-on.
It is. And I always recommend, when a buyer tells me what they're looking for and I take them to that home, I always like to show them a second home. Even if they say we have no interest, it just, it gives them another solution. And maybe they didn't think of a bi-level and then they see the modern twist and then they do love the bi-level. Or it just solidifies that the floor plan they picked is the one. So it's a big decision when building a home and investing a lot of money in making your biggest purchase.
And it helps to see what it is that you're talking about, and that whole hands-on to experience walking through and be able to picture yourself.
Yes, that's the big thing. People like to visualize where their furniture is going to go and how they're going to make use of the space. So definitely.
Now, what's the most popular? Because I feel like from buyers, frequently we have people asking for ranches. Are there a lot of ranches that are getting built nowadays?
So our ranches, we don't build on spec because typically when we have a ranch buyer, it's not a first-time home that they're looking to purchase. They typically know what they want to put in the home, so they don't want what the builder has to choose. They actually want to go through the process. We've got ranches starting in the 1,200 square foot all the way to 2,400 square foot. So a big range of different ranches. Our most common floor plan is going to be our traditional colonial 2-story, very open floor plan, about 1,800, 1,900 square feet, 4 beds, 2.5 baths with a basement. That's very common, as well as our bi-level style. So our bi-level style has taken such a modern twist with these big vaulted ceilings. They get 2,060 square feet of livable space. So it almost acts as a ranch, but then with a finished lower level. And those are very popular as well.
Nice. It seems like for functionality,
yes,
that's a really good option.
Yes, it is. It is. And it's a little bit more affordable.
Right.
And it's interesting what you said about the ranches, but I completely get it because we have so many people that are downsizing. A lot of times the person looking for a ranch, they've done this before, right?
They're a little more discerning.
Right. So they're like, no, this is what I want and I'm going to pick it all out.
Yes, exactly. And typically a first-time home buyer, they're good with a bi-level or a 2-story home. They don't need the ranch. A lot of times, ranch buyers, they're trying to alleviate those stairs. So
right.
Otherwise, I get a lot of, requests that bedrooms on the same floor, but it's okay if it's on the second floor as long as they're on the same floor.
And you have some floor plans that have a first floor primary as
We
well?
do. Yep. So we've got a lot of different floor plans with a first floor primary. And then we've got floor plans with, 2 bedrooms on the main floor. Obviously, our ranches are going to have 3 to 4 bedrooms on the main floor. And then if you were to finish a basement, a bedroom can go down there. All of our homes come with an egress window no matter what. So a bedroom can always be made out of the basement as well.
Very good. No, I mean, we are covering so many things. Is there anything we missed? Anything that about Allen Edwin or about the process that you're like, hey, I want to make sure people know this?
The biggest takeaway is it's way easier and it's not as intimidating as you may think. Getting in front of you guys, myself, I'm able to really break it down step by step. I just met with somebody yesterday and they're like, wow, I thought I was going to walk away with a headache and a half, but you made this so easy. And it's just following the process, being able to, really dive deep into what they're looking for and then making it easy for them because it can be overwhelming. Buying a house in general, especially as a first time, everything's overwhelming. So really being able to walk them through a model home, I answer questions that they didn't even know that they had. And so that's the biggest thing is it's so much easier than they may think. And it's so much more reachable and attainable for budgets than people may think as well.
And you're making it a customized experience as well as a
Yes.
customized home.
Right.
Yes.
And one of the other things I would mention that, people we had that have bought a new home through you guys, they don't feel like they're competing. So like, when you're going out to buy a home and we do very well with getting people's offers accepted, but
One of 13 the other day, by the way.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. That's amazing.
Isn't that fun?
That is something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But on new construction, the price is the price. If you're going through the process from beginning to end, you do the add-ons of what you want, but you're not going to walk through a house and say, oh, it's listed at, X, but you're
there's no bidding
paying
war.
X plus.
Yeah.
Correct. Right. That's what a lot of people think. They'll be like, oh, we see the price online and then we have to add to this. Again, new construction can sound so intimidating, like a build process. And some people don't want to go through picking out all their selections. So like a spec home where everything's picked out for
Yeah.
them, brand
Perfect.
new. Yeah. They're
Right.
like, we don't want to pick out anything. We just want to move in and be pretty and nice and new. And we've got that option too.
Right.
Yeah.
And well, with you guys including the lot fee in the price, that makes a big difference because you'll see, not to name any builders, but you'll see ones where they have a billboard and they say starting at the 240s, and then you go there and there's one lot that's at the 240s, right? Because you're buying the lot on top of it. You're like, well, the house is 240, but the lot is
I think
75.
That's how they
Yes.
used to be.
Yes.
The price of movie
Yes,
on you
the
there.
price has moved way above that.
Yeah.
But
You
yes. Yeah, no, you're not finding
240.
that.
But the concept remains. The lots being adding like an additional 80,000
Right.
with other builders where it's not like that. We've got premiums on our lots. Some are going to be $0 premiums, and some, if it's a walkout site, can range upwards of 15,000, depending, on the lot. Sometimes higher, sometimes lower. It just really depends. But it's not adding in the entire lot to the
Exactly.
Right,
price.
because some of them do.
Some of them do.
And a lot of them, like I said, require the buyer to pay for the Michigan transfer tax.
Yep.
And so as we talk to our clients as they consider new construction, that's one of the things that, depending on the builder you pick, there's additional closing
Yeah,
costs.
and for those of you that don't know out there, so Michigan transfer tax, for every $1,000 value of your house, you're paying a tax of $8.60 to the state for the
Well, somebody is.
Somebody is. But if you're a seller, you're usually paying it to the state for the privilege of selling your house, basically. And for new construction, sometimes some builders have
Other
the
builders, not
buyer,
this one.
not this one, but some builders have the buyer take on that fee. So when we're reaching out to a builder, that's one of the first questions we're asking them as well, who's paying the transfer tax?
Yeah, it's a great question. I get that asked by realtors all the time because they want to be sure that they're setting their client up. But with our showcase homes, our inventory spec homes, we pay the transfer tax. And then when it's a build, we just do a lot transfer. So then the client will pay the transfer tax on a vacant piece of property only when they're customizing it.
Right.
We'll put them into title.
Right. But that's a small fee compared to
Oh,
a full house.
Yeah,
Oh,
compared to, a $350,000, $500,000 house on the property. When we transfer it at vacant land, they're in title already, and so they don't have to pay any additional at closing.
A lot easier.
Perfect.
You guys
A
have the
lot.
processes already set up. I love that.
Yes, very process oriented.
So if somebody is interested in saying, hey, I want to find out more, where do I start? Where do I begin? What do I do? What would you say?
Yeah, so reach out to yourself or Don or myself, Alexis Waple. You can find more information at allenedwin.com, but you will receive more benefits by coming through you guys and myself. There's a lot more that we have to offer for our buyers.
Yeah, that is
Perfect.
great. And we'll make sure to have information in the show notes on that, of course. And then that way it's nice because you have a real live person that you talk to and can ask your questions to and can be reached and not just clicking off to some website or something.
Right, exactly.
Right. And they have multiple developments in Livingston County, which is great. And they have that new one coming in off of PV Road that's going to be, in process for the next couple of years. That's a lot
Yeah.
of houses to build.
That is a lot of houses to build. We've got a few phases to go. So we're just beginning our first phase. Super exciting.
Yeah, and
Right.
some walkouts and
Yeah, a mix of different home sites.
Right.
Great.
And, it is amazing. If you go out and visit these subdivisions, over the course of 6 months, a year and a half. I know the Silver Springs out in Fowlerville. It is amazing how quickly you guys are moving, that I come out there 3 months later and I'm like, oh my God, look at how many are in development that are going in.
Mm-hmm. And they're all selling. There's just, not very good inventory in the market. So people have explored new construction, and it has, that community is going like mad.
It's a great alternative.
It is.
And especially in terms of depending on your price point, I love that Fowlerville is so affordable, and then you can just hop on the freeway and be.
And again, great location over there just north of the high school. So it's, it's a great option for people.
It is. And it's outside of the village, so you don't get hit with the village taxes. So it's handy township taxes, which is
way better.
Yes.
Yep. Well, you guys are a great asset to the community. I love that you guys are building here in Livingston County, and that you guys put together such a quality product. I know so many people that are happy living in your homes.
I'm so happy to hear that. I love a happy homeowner.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. This has really been a pleasure to learn more about Allen Edwin, and we'd already thought so highly of you guys, but it's so nice to know all these other extra things that are things that homeowners on an Allen Edwin build can take a lot of pride in and know that they are getting such a quality product.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to work with more home buyers that are interested in Allen Edwin.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
And
welcome to Livingston.